So I just want to give my take on the JonBenet Ramsey situation, just like everybody else is giving their take on it. I want to put my 2 cents in. So this is a case that I've been following since 1996, since the day it happened. Um, First of all, let's just get straight to the point. There was no intruder. So the scenarios are that the dad was in a cult, maybe, and that maybe, he had some type of, um, he was a part of some type of ring that violates children, and we know very well about those type of rings. They're going around a lot now with the Diddy situation and a lot of child sacrifices and things for money, which he did have a lot of. So they're saying maybe something could have happened to her in the process of one of the violations of her being passed or around or whatever, with the cloaked guys and like the Grove people or whatever, the high society people and the connected families. I'm being careful what I say, but the families that run um, everything. So that could be one scenario. The second scenario would be that the mom had a fit of rage because she is a pageant mom and she's really a perfectionist and she is just maybe things have to be a certain way and she likes her daughter to be presented a certain way and she's just like on edge all the time and things always have to be in perfection for her home, her kids, her lifestyle, her betrayal to others, because she's also a former pageant queen, beauty winner, whatever. So that's how she may have lost her temper, either behind maybe bedwetting or maybe behind the bowl of pineapples that her daughter might have went downstairs and made behind her back or after she told her to go to bed, whatever. Then we have the scenario that her brother did it, because he was already a little bit violent toward his sister and he was jealous and, spoiled little rich kid mentality and, just maybe not always handling his sister in the safest way, and then they had to cover it up because they definitely don't want to lose two children, one in a violent way, and then another one to jail, and they also don't want to ruin their prestige, their reputation, and their status, their name or whatever. Then we have this other scenario that an intruder just came into their home, kidnapped, but didn't kidnap, actually left the daughter there and ended her life there and wrote this elaborate ransom note in their home with their pens in the dark, fed her the pineapples, walked around this labyrinth of maze home and found the basement, wrapped her in covers that were her favorite, left her there. Even though the police didn't find her there, her own dad and his friend found her there after they said she was missing. That's the thing. That's the scenarios we have about this situation. So, first of all, I don't have any money, so I can't be sued for what I say about them. So if the dad likes to sue people when you say things that he doesn't agree with, and like the CBS special and things, and that plays a big part into what I'm about to say, because if he does that now, imagine, he lawyered up really fast, he airplaned up really fast. Imagine how when it first happened, the people who do know him and who, had a direct connection to the case, maybe they didn't want to be ended, sued, fired. We're just going to keep that in mind. So with that being said, and this is probably going to be more than a part one. I mean, it's one part. I'm going to see. But with that being said, we automatically have to understand that the pageant situation for a 6-year-old being dressed in that way and being presented in that way in that whole community of people is a little bit strange. Now, I am also an ex-pageant child, but I didn't get into pageant until I was like 12 and able to make my own decisions. Also, pageantry is not quite as the way that the pageantry that I ran across in the 90s wasn't just as quite as provocative as what we're seeing this child went through in her pageant era. And what I mean by that is we really want to look at what type of pageantry that was, or what audience was that really trying to target. When we have 6-year-olds not in big beautiful dresses, not in different wear for different times, fall wear, because that's usually how children are presented in pageants. They look like little Gap models and stuff like that. This type of pageantry was more like dance, more so outfits. And there's nothing wrong with dance, but I'm just saying, listen to exactly what I'm trying to get across. What kind of pageant was this, and what audience were they really trying to get the attention of? Okay, so we're going to say that right there. And I'm saying that because a lot of people want to say, well, it was the pageant, she was in pageants. That's the intruder theory. She was in these pageants. Somebody targeted her. Okay, but who presented her in that way? As parents, you automatically know if you present your child in that way, the type of people that's probably going to attract. So with that being said, who is really the predator? Okay, moving forward, because I can get stuck there all day. People that live in a cult lifestyle and that are part of cults and a cult whatever, they do things a little differently than what we would normally see. Meaning, we don't have the money and power to have these elaborate parties with friends, with children being portrayed in a certain way. Again, Diddy, we don't have those type of Abercrombie and Fitch. We don't have the money, the financial freedom, the status, the class to live out all our wildest fantasies. And the devil is real. Blood, money, blood, sacrifice, blood is real. And in occults and witchcraft, blood is the way you pay. Music industry, you pay with the blood. Jesus played with the blood. You play with your blood because that's what the devil needs. So when we're looking at all this money, high class, high status, sometimes it costs you some blood. We know several celebrities who have had to spare their family members, children and all, for blood and for the money and for the fame and for a new record deal or for a new status. Her dad was a billionaire. And her mom also come from an Indian, and she's much younger. She was much younger than him at the time when they got together. So sometimes everything is not quite what it looks like. So my point in saying that, before I make part 2, is the intruder theory. I understand where you guys may be coming from. You're trying to say, somebody did that because she was exposed to these pageants and this, that, and the other. Okay, and if you do want to believe that it was another billionaire who did it, who is very close with their family, and that, let's not call them so much of a predator as much as maybe even the parents look at it in a different light. Maybe the parents are the predators. They're the one that put her in that type of situation to be exposed to those type of people. Part 2 coming in a minute.